Try not to ever tap. I am ready.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our meeting today. We'll begin with the four-way test, pledge salute led by Leonora.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it
Fair to all concerned,
Will it build
goodwill and better
friendships? And
will be beneficial for all concerned. Will it be fun?
Thank you, Leonora.
You guys work too hard.
Short answer, great.
I don't want any.
One and only John Jones, never shy, and never for a lot of words. I'm going to share some things that inspire me, and hopefully they will have some impact on you. First of all, from my father-in-law, do your giving while you're living. Then you know where it's going. How's that? That's good, if we could remember that. A story about that is yesterday we had some leftover venison stew. And my wife didn't want to put it in the freezer, so I took it to the little tent camp by the bridge. And I hollered into one little tent that was about waist high, no answer. And I heard a noise from behind the bush. And here's a man about my age in a tent. His lady was in the tent with him. And I gave that to them. And it helped them, but it inspired me. And hopefully you can do something similar to that. I have, some of you are prayers, and I have a very short prayer that I say often. Lord, give me wisdom and give me the strength to do what's right. All right, very nice, guy. I'd like to acknowledge our visiting Rotarians. We have at least two. Jim Polk, who will talk to us later. And also Bruce Reese. And I know we have any other Rotarians, and there's another two that I saw. Okay, how about visiting guests? I know we have one. Jim, you want to introduce your wife?
My lovely wife, Kate.
Thank you for coming. Okay, any other guests?
The good one.
Visitors?
That's that.
Oh, you guys, okay, Amanda and
David.
you're almost on the list, so. In transition, there are gonna be 12 members shortly, very soon. Okay, well, welcome, everybody. I went into a little bit of just a little bit of order of business today. We're gonna hold the announcements till right before Happy Bucks because we got a pretty full agenda. I do have to request a stand-up board meeting to approve a check. So if we could get 8 or 9 of you to stick around, it'll only take a few moments. We need to do our election of officers, which I'm gonna do pretty shortly. And let's see, then we'll do the gift exchange. Jody will herald that one in, and then our district governor, Jim Polk, will be talking to us. And then we'll wrap up the meeting with Happy Bucks and a few other things. Okay, so what we're gonna do is the election of officers right now. We have posted the candidates in the past. In the Navigator for the past month, the past 4 weeks. So we announced it before that at a meeting. So you should be well aware of who is running. I'm going to just list the candidates. I forgot my thumb drive, so I'm going to have to do it verbally. But anyway, so for the officers, Judy Baxter, president. I will be the past president.
Yay.
It's passed. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Gina Maria Gosa is the immediate past president and treasurer. Valerie Lovelace will be our president-elect. Jenny Jackson is the president nominee and co-secretary. And Claudia Sullivan will be the other co-secretary. So those are the officers. The remaining directors are Tommy Drake, Mike Bird, Luke Kramer, Jim LaFever, Bev Walker, Josh Ballack, Kelly Moody, Jan Jones, and Steve Rowe. Now, at this point, we can take nominations from the floor as well. So are there any nominations for additional board members from the floor? Did you do one? Bev was gonna do one, I thought.
She didn't mention it to me.
Oh.
Can I object to her though? Timeout? She needs to be home, take care of me. Wait,
I don't know if I'm allowed to, but Bev, I think she's not here, she can nominate Zara. And Zara had
Oh.
volunteered to serve. So if it's appropriate, then I will.
I'll nominate Zara.
Okay, there you go.
I nominate Zara.
So we have one more, Zara. Okay, so that is the full slate of candidates. James,
I still move that we accept this.
thank you. Do I have a second? Second, Tommy. Okay, we're gonna just do a simple hand vote. All those in favor, raise your hand, please. Aye. Aye, all right. Well, congratulations and thanks to you guys who were instrumental in putting together the slate of candidates and rounding up officers for the next Rotary year. Okay, so we're in good shape. All right, how about a gift exchange? And you three are invited, by the way, you're gonna play, so get ready.
You don't have to do anything except play.
All right, so for the right left gift exchange, we need everybody to bring your documents out here. We need to big, a big, one. It looks like we got a couple tables to work around, so try to do that. But I need to be able to stand here so you guys can hear me while I read the right left view, so I'll come around this way, and remember, you gotta get close, you gotta be able to pass the ornament back and forth. If anybody would have to join in the work exchange and we don't have, there's an extra one up here. How are you feeling?
Hey, Jody, you ask if anybody needs one?
Again, if anybody did not bring an ornament but would like to join in, we've got a few different ornaments up front here that can be used, and you can join in the fun.
Everybody in the grade.
And it has to be a circle, guys, so we can't have it.
Maybe go around those tables.
And you have to go close, because we literally have to go like this.
So that's kindergarten circle.
Oh, yeah. Kindergarten circle, everybody can go out, and
We just backed off. Now you want us to come in?
yeah, you have to, you literally have to be able just to go like this.
We have to be united.
So
Bruce, come and go through it.
Like.
There we go. I think kindergartners are better at this.
Yeah.
whoever knew that herding Rotarians was worse than herding cats, you know? What? John needs an ornament? I know there's, I got one extra over here. Okay. If anybody else needs another one, there's a few others I think that are available, so.
Bring it back there.
Okay.
I love it. I feel that's legit. That's
Okay, so everybody signs close, you can actually reach and touch your neighbor. All right? All right, yeah. All right, so we're gonna start. So what happens is when I. No, correct, hold on, George. When I read the word right in the sentence, you pass the ornament to the right. When I read the word left in the sentence, you pass the ornament to the left. And when we get done, you'll have a new ornament. So here we go. Was the night right before Christmas. There was nothing left to do. All the right gifts had been purchased and had been wrapped up right at too. Not a crumb was left on the table. Not a dish was left in the sink. The house was left sparkling as the Christmas tree light blinked. The children had run right to their beds so that videos of sugar plums could dance right in their heads. While Santa and his elves scrambled all around to make sure that all the right gifts under each tree would be found. The snow outside falling left the world bathed in white, which left everyone feeling that this would be a magical night. Finally, Santa left the North Pole in his trusty reindeer sleigh, with his bag filled right up with toys for Christmas Day. Then right, your other, oh, right. I'm reading ahead. And left, where I was reading. He circled the globe, spreading Christmas cheer. Has one down this way. Somebody else was that too?
You got two over here.
Okay, so give one to Margaret. All right, so we did we already did the right and left one. Spreading Christmas cheer until his big bag was left empty. And he headed home with his reindeer. There you go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you. Well, if you got your own, pass it on, but that meant that somewhere it got softer.
Thank you, Joey. That was excellent. That was fun.
Thank you, Jody. That's always a lot of fun. Hey, everybody, take your seats. So I would like to introduce Bruce Reeves, who is our assistant governor and often goes by the name of Coach. And Bruce is going to introduce Jim Polk, our district governor.
Thank you, Jim. It gives me great pleasure to perform my role as assistant governor for Area 8, which is all 5 clubs in Josephine County. District Governor Jim Polk began his Rotary career on October 4th, 2007 at the Rotary Club of Illinois Valley. He is a chartering member of our club. In his pursuit for being a great leader in Rotary, he attended RLI in 2015. He was the president of this club in the year of 2015-16. He attended District Leadership Academy in 2017. This has been a whirlwind year for him and his wife, Katie. They are on their last leg of club visits. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the program for today, District Governor Jim Polk.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah. I don't see Gina Marie here, so I need you to come up for a second. All right. Yeah. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to present the Rotary Club of Road Gateway with the 2022-2023 Rotary Citation from Jennifer Jones.
And no, I do not sit behind the lectern. I
I believe. So anyway, what I want to do today, give you a little bit of history about me and how I came to be standing in front of you as the governor. It's an interesting journey I've undertaken, so I wanted to share a little bit with it. I'm a native Oregonian. I was born up in Hillsborough. My folks moved outside of Grants Pass before my first birthday. I managed to maintain a permanent home of record in Josephine County for my 71 years of life since that time. Anyway, so I grew up here, community of Waterville, bustling community that it is, went to Waterville Elementary School. Folks, it's a 3-room schoolhouse. They had 6 grades in that schoolhouse. Each teacher had 2 years at the same time. Had a great time. But it was at that school, I was 9 years old. They lined all of us up in the hallways. And as we walked into the cafeteria one after another, we were given a sugar cube that had a little pink hitch to it. And we were told we would never get pulled. Didn't mean a whole lot to me. I got a sugar cube, life was good. However, I did know I had a classmate. Her father contracted polio in the mid-50s. As we grew up, she became a sister-in-law, and I also learned that he spent 6 months in an iron lung. He managed to get out of the iron lung. He had to use braces and crutches for the rest of his life, but he got out of it. So moving on in my life, I came to Grants Pass High School. That classmate at Grants Pass High School. His father also contracted polio. Now, when I was in high school, I was oblivious to this fact. Didn't know it. Didn't know it until I became a Rotarian, was visiting the Wednesday Club and learned that piece of information about my class. So, it was something that he never talked about. So, going on in life, went to Southern Oregon College, when it was still a college, before it became a university, as a math major. Took all of maybe 3 or 4 months, and the tutelage from Professor Rio, Dr. Rio, turned out he wrote the calculus book we were studying. Realized that maybe being a math major wasn't what I was meant to do with my life. But I finished out my freshman year, looking at going back to school, and decided, don't really want to be a math major anymore, so what am I going to do? I need to grow up, figure out what I want to be the rest of my life, when I was an adult. How can I do this? Well, maybe I can join the Air Force. Now, it's 1971, Kissinger isn't doing peace talk yet in Paris. Bad things have happened in Southeast Asia. So I went and talked to the Air Force recruiters. I was looking at GI Bill for 4 years of growing up. Maybe I know what I want to be when I'm an adult. Talked to him a little bit, and he needed signatures on the bottom lines, really, really bad. And he'd been given the authority to give one written guarantee. He said, so you have a specific career field you'd like to do. Is there a base or a place in the world you want to go to? What do you want for your guarantee? Now, I taken a test. In high school, they had a program called aerospace. Basically, it was a private pilot's course. And I got interested in the weather part of it. I said, I think I'd like to be a meteorologist. Or a computer programmer. One or the other. But that's not what I think I want from my written guarantee. I want a written guarantee I'm not going to go to Southeast Asia. I just named to it, handed it to me. As I'm not saying inside my name yet, I'm going to get this validated, make sure it stands up. Took it to a couple of attorneys here in town, they verified, yeah, it would be in full force and effect and valid. So I went back to the recruiter and I signed up, joined the Air Force. With that as my guarantee. Went to basic training down there in San Antonio, Texas. Life was good. About halfway through, they took a whole bunch of us to send us to some aptitude testing. They didn't tell us what the aptitude that we were getting tested for. So I went and took the test. A couple days after that test, I got called into the training officer's office. How do you like to be a linguist? Don't know what an Air Force linguist is. I want to be a meteorologist. Thank you very much. So I gave me some paperwork, said, here's the information about being a linguist. Read it, just let me know what you think. So I went out, I read it, went back to him. Not only no, but 4-letter words, no. Not what I want to do. I want to be a meteorologist. Thank you very much.
Well, now that you're a linguist, we have openings in Russian, German, Czech, Chinese, and Vietnamese. Well, I'm going, smart young man that I am. I have a written guarantee that I'm not going to go to Southeast Asia. So I guess if I got to do one of these, it'd be Russian, German, or Czech. Finish up basic training, get orders. Now that you're a Chinese linguist, you're going to Monterey, California to spend 36 weeks learning Mandarin Chinese in the Military Air Force Oral Comprehension Program. Okay, so what? Went to Monterey, California, the city of Monterey, up on top of the hill overlooking Monterey Bay. Great place to be. Started doing language classes. 2 weeks into it, get called into the Air Force Liaison's office. He's going, Airman, you're not doing well. In fact, if this trend continues, you're going to flunk out. If you flunk out, you're probably going to end up loading bombs on B-52s in Guam. So we have a solution to that. We're going to put you in mandatory study hall, 2 hours a night, Monday through Thursday, for additional training. Well, about 24 weeks into it, guy living next door to me flunked out. His assignment? Guam, munitions. He was going to load bombs on B-52s. 30 weeks in, my roommate flunks out. He got his orders. Meteorology school in Colorado. 34 weeks in, I get called into the training liaison's office. Well, Airman, got some news for you. You've got enough points, you will graduate in 2 weeks. The good news part of that is you don't have to go to study hall anymore. I spent 34 weeks or 32 weeks in mandatory study hall. Really struggled with language. I don't hear tones. I'm tone deaf. And Chinese is a tonal language. But when you put it into context of military Air Force communications, there's only certain things, certain words can mean. So I could do the job. So I graduated. They sent us to San Angelo, Texas for more training. Get down there. Go to where we're going to get our training at. It's a building about it's like a half of a city block. 2-story. It's brick. It's got 8-foot chain link fence all the way around it. On top of that 8-foot chain link fence, 4 strands of concertina barbed wire. And every gate through that fence, there was armed security points. I mean, they had weapons on their hips, they had M16s. They were serious about this. Well, that brick building, there were absolutely no windows in it. Absolutely none. I'm country brook here in Josephine County. I like looking out. I like seeing trees and mountains and stuff. And they said, well, in this Brookfield, you're going to work in a building like this, doing your job in the Air Force. But the Air Force has pollution problems like this. They said, but if you want, you can do this job in the back end of an airplane. Hey, I took aerospace. Private pilot license training. Why? Yeah, you bet. I want to do that. So I said, I want to. I'm a crew member. He said, we've got a problem. As a Chinese linguist that's going to fly, you're going to fly off of Okinawa, Japan. Many of those flights will take you in to the Gulf of Tonkin and around Southeast Asia. And if you're flying down there and the aircraft creates a mechanical problem, you're probably going to land in Southeast Asia. You have a written guarantee you won't go to Southeast Asia. So when? My solution? I voided that written guarantee. My mind's thinking, I could have been the meteorologist by now. And here I am ripping this up. But at this time, Kissinger was getting real close to doing a peace course. So I wasn't that worried about it anymore. Anyway, so I go to Okinawa, start flying, get certified. 9 months into that assignment, I come home, I marry my bride. Yeah, we celebrated 50 years in September. It's been that long. So, and I will say my best half, not my better half. Anyway, so got married, being the smart young man that I am. I get to take my bride to Japan for a 2-year honeymoon. Well, we get over there and I've got about 8, 9 months left in the Air Force. She announces, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant. And it's, okay, now what am I gonna do? Not only do I have a wife, I'm not gonna have a child. We talked it over. Talked to the personnel office, and I realized the Air Force said, "Great. We're gonna send you to Monterey for 9 more months of Chinese language training." Yeah. We left Okinawa when our son was 15 days old. We were back on Okinawa before, or right after he turned 11 months old. So did another 2.5 years on Okinawa, ended up getting on airplanes 186 times, just under 3,000 hours riding around and back into airplanes. Great time. At this point now, I'm coming up, I've got 8 years in service. Thought it was over, and I go 12 more years, I get checked for the rest of my life. Air Force is, you know, the real decision in the Air Force, gee, what am I gonna wear to work today? Maybe I'll wear the blue suit. So I re-enlisted again, Air Force. Well, we're gonna send you to Monterey for another 9 months, kind of exciting. Now, intermediate and advanced language training doesn't have mandatory study hall. You're not gonna flunk out, life is good, okay? So we did that after the advanced class. I went to Korea for a year. 4 years in Tucson, Arizona, 3 years in San Antonio, Texas. Then the Air Force said, well, the doctors have released it for worldwide duty. You can go to Korea. No, because they're spent a lifetime there 1 year, don't want to go back there. So the option is Wheeler Air Force Base. Now, some of you may have driven past or know where Wheeler Air Force Base is. It's in the center of Oahu, Hawaii. Yeah, that was where I went. 3 years there, I decided it was time to retire. And so we left Hawaii, came back to Oregon, trying to find jobs. I ended up getting a part-time job running the projectors and snack bar at the drive-in movie theater in Cave Junction, Oregon. Now, the story behind that is my in-laws built that drive-in in 1952. They ran it through the 70s and then closed it down and sold the property. This individual bought it and was reopening it. And I got the job to run it for him. Pay wasn't good. Hours were terrible. But while I was doing that, the recorder treasurer in the city of Cave Junction turned in her 2 week notice. And I'm looking, everything is done there. Ordinances, resolutions, I know how to do that. Budgeting, I know how to do that. Taking minutes, if I can transcribe Chinese live with 95% accuracy, I can take minutes of council meeting. I can do this job. So I went to City Hall, I applied, I got the job. So I'm working at City Hall. The Rotary Club grants passed with the acquiescence and support of the other 2 Rotary clubs and grants passed. Announced they were doing the road duck derby. Purpose of this fundraiser is to put all weather tracks around the athletic fields of the area high schools. Got to looking at it. Area high schools. Grass Pass, Hidden Valley, North Valley. Nothing's being said about Illinois Valley and Cave Junction. So a few of us raised the question, what about ID? Their answer, Grants Pass answer was, create a Rotary Club, help us with the fundraiser, and we'll get an equal share of the proceeds. So that word came out, there was an effort started to create a Rotary Club in Cave Junction. I'm going, no. But this time, I decided it's time to retire from City Hall. I've started my 999 day countdown on the computer. So every day when I turned on the computer at work, they told me how many days I still had to walk into that door. And, you know, joining a service club wasn't high on my list because I was looking at retiring. Well, I had about 2 or 3 months where I had a string of visitors coming into my office. Rotarians that were classmates at Grants Pass High School, or the city and county officials I worked with on an ongoing basis as a city clerk treasurer, urging me and telling me why I should become a Rotarian in that Rotary Club. Well, it took 2 or 3 months, but I finally said, okay, I'll do it. But with the intent of, I'll help get the club off the ground, you know, support it, do that kind of stuff. And when I retire from City Hall, I'd walk away from it. That's what my mind said. That was my intention. So I became a charter member of the Rotary Club. Yes, we did the duck derby. We did put all weather crap around the Ivy football field. Took us 4 years, but it got done. Well, in 2010, I decided it was time to retire, so I did. I walked out of City Hall. It only took a couple of months, and I was ready to walk away from Rotary. And I was sitting in my recliner, 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, this was the 5th Tuesday, by the way, folks, of the month. Our club went dark on the 5th Tuesday. We didn't have a meeting. My wife looks at me going, "Aren't you going to Rotary? You're in my way. Tuesdays are the day I clean my house. You need to get out of my house." Being the smart man that I am, I went over to Well River where we have all our stuff, and I started working on our adopted road program. Because it was coming up to be done in another week or two, so I was doing some paperwork and getting everything ready for it. But it got me out of the house. Well, so I figured, well, if Tuesdays, I can go to Rotary meetings and be out of the house for a couple hours every Tuesday, this works, so I'll stay in Rotary. 2 years or shortly thereafter, I finally said yes to being a club director. Just give me something else to go do, get out of the house. And Del Bray was coming to visit, past District Governor Del Bray, and they did a social and dinner before his meeting of the club. And at that meeting, our nominating committee for our slate of officers, which are all of our club's past presidents, pigeonholed me for about 3 hours of why I need to have my name put on a slate of officers to become the president nominee. 3 hours, I finally said yes. It didn't take 3 months, just 3 hours. So I got my name put on the slate of officers. Sure enough, I ended up getting elected. Nobody else stood up and put their name against me. So I became the president nominee. The next year, I'm the president-elect. District Governor Tim Mobley was coming into our club to visit. And at that meeting, I'm sitting next to his beautiful wife, Leanne, on one side, Katie on the other. That's right, before our president turned over the lectern to the governor, he announces, "Oh, and by the way, August 30th, Jim and Katie Polk will be having their birthday." Leanne looked at me and went, "August 30th, you both have the same birthday?" "Yeah, we do." "That's my birthday too."
Oh, wow.
It's turned out Leanne at this time was our District Foundation Committee's Club Development Chair. Leanne made a connection and we started talking. He talked a lot about the Rotary Foundation and the efforts we could do with our foundation giving and district dedicated funds and Polio Plus. And she told me, and I said, "Leanne, I realize I've got a year as president coming up, but if there's something you need help with, I'm really pretty good on a computer and I can do paperwork behind the scenes really, really well. I'm not an out front kind of person, but I can help you." So that started that trend, and it turned out to help protect Ruth, because he was the committee chair at the time, and got a little bit more involved and saw some other stuff. Well, after my year as president, every year I just get an email or a call going, "We think you need to put your name in to be district governor." And I'm going, not only no, but 4-letter word no, that will never happen. So I was moving on. By the way, in my year as president, I had a really, really good year. Great, we shared the spotlight that year. Big Junction ended up coming home with, I think, every small club award. Had a great year, the club knocked it out of the park. Anyway, so I said not only no, but heck no several times. Then I got a personal letter. I got a letter, not just an email or a phone call. Read this letter and it made it sound like our district would fall apart unless I put my name in to be district governor. I mean, it was an amazing letter. Didn't think, Katie and I talked about it. She'd say, "It's Rotary, go do, get out of my house." So I put my name in, and to do that, you get your district or your board to do a resolution nominating you and all that, and you have to do a bio and a picture. But then they say, "Oh, by the way, you're going to give a 5 to 7 minute speech." on this topic. And then there'll be an interview. So I go up to if they do it at the foundation, gala every year usually. So I go up to this and I'm getting ready to give my speech. Well, there's 3 other gentlemen scheduled to talk. Guess what? They all got that same kind of personalized letter. Speeches were given. I told our soon-to-be zone director, Vicki Pewitz, that's the next governor. He's going, oh, no, that's just speech. It's still the interview. There's a lot more to do. He said, that's your next governor. Sure enough, as I'm driving back from Eugene, I get a phone call. We've offered the position to Jerry Kasanovic. That's who I pointed at, by the way. But with that phone call, I was also asked, but now you're the assistant governor currently, but have you thought about doing something else? What would you think about being the district treasurer? No. Oh, I like being an AG, by the way, folks. Even with this one, AG is really, really close to being the best job possible in Rotary. Great job. Anyway, so over the next 3 days, after an unknown number of phone calls, I finally said, okay, I'll quit being AG and I'll become the district treasurer. So I did that for 3 years. And while I was doing that, the next year, the nomination call came out. I put my name in again because only 2 people had applied. And as the treasurer, I got to see this information. And I'm going, we got a slight problem here. The board needs to have a third option because it might not be the best fit for our district. So I put my name in again. Get up to do the speeches, find out both of those individuals have pulled their name. The good news is somebody else put in a name. Talked to this individual for a little bit. She gave a speech. And I found out how easy it is to screw up a speech and an interview. Because I walked in the interview, answered the question, and said, oh, by the way, the lady that you just interviewed, she needs to be your governor. And sure enough, Amy Walsh picked to be the governor. Well, the next year, the call came out, talked over with Katie a little bit, and said, if not me, who? If not now, when? If I put my name in this time, it will be the last time I ever do it. So I put my name in, and I didn't point to somebody else, say they're going to be governor. I said, I'm going to be the governor. And sure enough, it worked. So that's how I ended up being standing here in front of you. But in the course of the trainings we get here, you go to governor nominee training, you go to governor-elect training. Those are held in conjunction with the Zone Institute. So I'm getting ready to go down to Tucson, Arizona to attend the governor nominee training in Tucson, Arizona. Rough place. I lived there for 4 years. Still have lots of friends there. Life was good. So they said, oh, and by the way, you need to give a 3-minute speech, timed speech. You cannot exceed 3 minutes on why you're a Rotarian. What was your aha moment? Folks, I sat there for 2 weeks in the paper and I got zilch, not a zip, nothing. I mean, an aha moment. I didn't have an aha moment. Well, I have to give a speech on my aha moment. The more I thought about it, I realized at 9 years old, I was given a sugar cube and explained about polio. As a president-elect, I sat next to a fund development chair that talked to me about the Rotary Foundation and the good we can do in the world. And everything else I learned, Paul Harris had an idea that he took action on. Art Trump had an idea that he took action on. Jonas Salk had an idea that he took action on. Those ideas led to the Rotary International, the Rotary Foundation, and the vaccine for polio. Great ideas. So the next year we go to governor-elect training. Give a 2-minute speech, 2 minutes now, on what is your goal or purpose for your year as governor. I've listened to a whole host of governor speeches and presentations. They all, the vast majority, have a purpose, a goal, whether it's strategic plan, whether it's global grants, whether it's district grants, whether it's passion, and I'm going, something. The more I thought about it, and you get back to when I'm sitting next to Leanne. I can support, I can help. I want to provide support. I gave a 2-minute speech on asking for ideas and then providing help and support to people that express those ideas. So folks, that's my purpose for as your governor after I finish. One of the 2 things every governor has to do, by the way, visit every club and have an annual business meeting. I'm getting real close to getting that first one checked off the mark, okay? But my purpose, what I want to do as your governor is to help you. I have a team, a whole leadership grid of people that want to help. How do we help unless we get an opportunity to know what's your idea? What do you want to do? I mean, every club has their projects, their ideas, their service, great ideas. But I'm sure that somebody sitting in this room has an idea they haven't maybe vocalized yet. I'm here to help. Bounce that idea off of me. See if I can turn that team I have behind me loose to help. Maybe your idea could be that next big thing behind Paul Harris and Art Plump and Don Salt. Everybody has to have an idea. I look at our esteemed past Governor Kurt Brown. He's still serving. Appreciate your support, Kurt. What you do for Cindy is useful. I like it. Anyway, so I've got business cards. If you don't know how to contact me, I'm more than good. But I'm easy to find in DeckDB or at the Rotary website. Call me, email me, text me. Right now, I don't care. Let me know if you have an idea of how that we can help you take action on. That's my purpose and my goal in Rotary. I do want to share a couple of quick save the dates, things to remember. President-elect. Next, February 16th through the 18th, DoubleTree in Seattle. Have a great time. I'll be there. But learning, or we're going to do a Rotary Leadership Institute at the Eugene Mission in Eugene, in the middle weekend of March. I think it's March 16th and 17th, 15th, 18th, something like that. Anyway, middle of March. I think it costs $200 to register. Registration is open on DAC-TV in the calendar. It's great training, great information, whether you're a day 1 Rotarian or a 40-year Rotarian. There's nuggets that will be provided and applicable that you can use. Come up and join us. I think we've got, I'm going to cap the class at 30 people. So the first 30 people are registered. We're going to have a great time. We just walked in the Club Learning Assembly. We used to call that the District Training Assembly. It's now the Club Learning Assembly. April 13th, Cottage Grove High School, 9 to 3:34. Committee chairs, president-elects, any Rotarian, there's going to be training tracks and lines, secretaries, treasurers, foundation chairs, you name it, we've got a training session. We just had a discussion today. We're talking about maybe opening up a new line. Running effective meetings. How do you run a board meeting? I don't write a book for the see. We more than 6. I can do this. Anyway, so it's just an idea, but it's going to be a great training opportunity. The big one for me, folks, May 3rd through the 5th. Friday afternoon, May 3rd, we're going to kick off with Paul Harris Foundation reception on the deck at the Mill Casino in Coos Bay, Oregon. Saturday, we're going to have meal speakers, breakout sessions, do some awards, and just have a really great time. Sunday morning, after breakfast, we're going to have our annual business meeting. That's the second thing the district governor has to do. So, that will mark off my two must-dos as governor. But we're going to have a great time over in Coos Bay. So if you're not doing anything that weekend, come on over. It should be a lot of fun. With that, my thought for the day and every day. Today and every day, as we strive to be a gift to the world, be the reason someone smiles, or be the reason someone drinks. Whatever the opportunity, please create hope in the world. President Jim. I got 2 minutes over. This is my name. Urban, that's his name. Urban makes a head ball.
usually what we do right now is take questions.
If anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy. Great.
Jim, do you have an example of some of the ideas that have come forth from your request from other clubs, all the other clubs you visited? Anything that's worth mentioning to us?
There's been a couple, some of them are pretty big reaches, but, no, just some ideas about, well, how can I increase my membership? One of the things I look at, or at that time, it was very appropriate, because my answer was, we're coming up with World Polio Day. Print off one of the End Polio Now posters. Leave a space at the bottom, put your club logo, meeting date and time and location. Walk into the businesses in your community. Would you put this up in your window so people can see it? And by the way, here's our information. You want to come and visit? It attracts people in the door. You can't grow membership unless somebody makes the ask. And that's what my point is. You gotta ask it. Come and see what we do. Yeah, right now we're working on this End World, End Polio Now campaign. But we do other things. We do service projects. We fill backpacks with food and school supplies, whatever, but you make the ask. That's one of the key things that most of the clubs have been struggling with since the pandemic is getting their membership back. But I can send you a list of other ideas too. Jeff,
How's your Chinese these days?
as good as it was when I graduated, which is my Chinese is really bad. Folks, I can't go into a Mandarin restaurant and order a meal in Chinese. But if I hear airplane talk, I got that. Okay? It was one of those. It was Chinese in, English out, and the target was 95% complete accuracy. Live. We did record it, so if you missed something, you can go back and listen to it and get it later. But that's what I did in the Air Force for more or less 20 years. I had training slots, I had time at headquarters where I did contracting and budgeting and resource management, that kind of stuff. My primary job was at the finance office.
You said that the governor wrote it in ADG. I submit to you that the best job would be PDG.
Haven't experienced that one yet. We'll see, okay? But service job, this one, really, really good. Don't want to diminish this one at all. But the time as an AG, great job. Anybody else? Go.
Right, never mind. But it's all from the phone. Is there one in Chinese?
Make lunch,
Make one. Always remember that.
doesn't matter. Okay? It makes no difference. Or if you're real confused, Mama Hoo Hoo. Tones aren't right, by the way. Mama Hoo Hoo is horses and tigers. And if you stop and think, if you have horses and tigers in the same area, you've got a pretty good mess on your hands. Okay? Great being here. Love coming in and visit. Margaret?
Yeah.
The Rotary citation is?
Yeah.
Okay, the Rotary citation is an award given by the Rotary International President. To get the Rotary citation, each club president, or actually as a president-elect is when you should go ahead and do it. There's a list of 25 goals that you can pick and choose from that you want to accomplish during the year of the presidency. It's things like how much money your club is going to give to the annual fund, how much money is club going to give to the Polio Plus Fund, how many new members are you going to bring in, how many of your existing members are going to sponsor a new member into the club. It's just 25 goals. They're all in Rotary Club Central. And if you go to Rotary.org awards, you can see what, look up, see what those 25 goals are. To get the citation, a club must complete a minimum of 13 of those 25 goals. Okay, this year, there's 62 clubs in our district, 11 got the citation. So, it's you're giving to the Rotary Foundation, the Polk Plus. Making me ask for a new member to come in the door, which it seems like you guys are doing really, really good, by the way. I can remember when this club was still real close to being one of the small clubs. Anyway, so that's what the Rotary citation is. To me, it is a big deal. A lot of fun and one of the other keys is the president has to go in and update those goals periodically. And say whether they've been, your service hours are being met, your fellowships are being met, that kind of stuff. An active, engaged club makes it a piece of cake for a president to mark off those goals. Okay. Any other questions? Great to be here again. Thank you very much.
Before we step down, some of us understand that you enjoy a good burger. And you have a nice little place in town, a little distillery, it's fairly new, it's called the Sundance. And you probably like to give you a little gift, there's a slate, thank you for coming and as a remembrance of our club.
Well, thank you very much. I really enjoyed this.
Well, Bruce, I don't know if you like bourbon as much as Jim does, so we bought you like the baby AT side. But if you like it, you come back again, I'll get you a full bag. There you go.
We've got enough time.
If you need help.
Okay, we're about to do announcements, and it seems to work if we queue up there and get ready. But as you're queuing up, is Bonnie here? I thought I saw Bonnie.
Bonnie's
Would you
back
like to
there.
come on up, please? She's wearing her Joy sweater. Joy to the world, and she's also wearing her red badge. And the reason I invite her up here is to replace it with her blue badge.
Just took a little while.
And Josie may have left, she had to leave. Anyway, she asked me to announce the vocational service awards are coming up. We have to have nominations due by the end of the year, December 31st. Basically, we've got a little time, but not much. Non-Rotarian lives to the ideals of four-way test, outstanding in their vocational work, and active in the community and helping others. I think we've got a few submitted so far, I'm not really sure. Anyway, I've got the application if anyone would like. Okay.
I'm checked. So today is our last day of Operation Joy, where we've been collecting our holiday cards. We're going to deliver them to the Chamber of Commerce, and they will deliver them to the local nursing homes. Everybody who helped fill out cards, thank you so much. If you want to stay after the meeting, I'm going to have everybody grab a handful of cards, and I'm going to get a picture of everybody who helped with the project. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I got two announcements. First one is point in time counts. That is something that you can, United Community Action Network does in town, and what they do is they count all the homeless people in town, or they try to as best they can. Those numbers go to the state, and then if we have a high enough count, we're eligible for funds from the state to help with homeless issues, whether it be housing or services or various ways those funds come down. So that point in time count is kind of an awkward thing. Groups go out into the blackberry bushes, the railroad tracks, Cape Junction, out in the mountains, out in the woods, and they go to known homeless camps and they try to count people that are there. They also, one of the things they do, which is a really easy count, is they go to the elementaries, they go to all the school districts and say, what's your homeless count of your children in the school districts? And that's usually about 700 kids that are homeless in school districts.
So the homeless point in time count, in order to get people to both identify as homeless and to come, one of the things they do is ask people to come to the fairground to be counted as homeless. They offer gifts to the homeless people that come in and get counted. Because it's kind of an embarrassing thing to admit you're homeless, you live in your car, you live in a garage, or whatever it is. So one of the ways that they offer, or one of the things they offer are eyeglasses, readers. So I am going to try to gather up readers for old eyeglasses. So if any of you have old readers or eyeglasses, I would like them, please, because they are very valuable to people who are homeless. I will be sending out emails to ask for eyeglasses. I'll collect them or bring them in here. If you know of anybody that has readers, and I don't know about old prescription eyeglasses. I have a drawer full of them because I try to save the screws and all the crap that goes with your eyeglasses will go bad. To try to fix these eyeglasses when they go bad. But I would assume that milder prescription eyeglasses might be appropriate for something. I don't know. But anyway, if you have a drawer full of eyeglasses or readers, or if you know somebody that might, please collect them. We'll be sending out emails, we'll be collecting that. So that's for the point in time count to try to give incentives for people to come in that are homeless to be counted. Announcement number one. Announcement number two, the Mid-Road Foundation had bought a house for low-income senior citizens. It's called the Evans House. It's up on Hillcrest. We did furniture for that. Along that 5 acres of property is about 1,300 lineal feet of Highway 5 frontage, right? It's right along the highway, and there's no trees at all along it, and it's just noisier than shit. Okay, it's crappy. So what we're gonna do, Jim has sort of tentatively said okay to this. We're gonna buy some seedlings and plant seedlings along that 1,300, 1,200 feet of road frontage along Highway 5 to try to block the noise, so that over the next 4 years, when we develop that property for low-income housing or for whatever that housing system we do, veterans housing, we'll have trees there. So sometime in February, we're going to be organizing a tree planting scenario where one weekend we dig holes, we fertilize those holes, and the next weekend we come along and we put trees in those holes. So beware that sometime mid-February we'll be doing tree planting. So get your rubber boots and your post hole diggers. We'll be digging holes. Okay, thanks.
Okay, as a lot of you know, we've been supporting the Mint Group. Dr. Bruce Murray came and spoke to us, and we've been donating clothing and supplies. We want to make some hygiene kits, and they have finally been able to get their 501c3. So if you'd like to make a monetary donation, there's instructions in the navigator how you can do that directly to them. Something else that's developed, we're trying to free up. This all started because Dr. Murray was serving coffee, and we told him, no, we're going to get people to serve coffee. You need to be doing your doctor stuff. And his wife is also a physician, and we wanted her to be freed up. There is a nurse that's been making more meals on Thursdays when we have the outreach, and we have told her now, we want you to be doing nursing stuff, and we'll take care of people and volunteers to make. They try to prepare 2 warm casseroles. They're like an egg dish or a crustless quiche type of thing. So we are looking for volunteers to make 1 or 2 casseroles if you can on a Thursday. It doesn't have to be every Thursday, but if someone would like to come forward and do that, you can get in touch with me or Kelly. And we'll be happy to give you, we have a recipe that they use, and you can use that recipe, or you can come up with your own. We just want it to be high protein because a lot of these people are healing, and it's the only warm meal they get all week. We also make muffins that they serve with these casseroles, usually about 6 dozen muffins to be made. So if anyone wants to help with that, please let us know. If you'd like to come and serve coffee on Thursdays, also please let us know. We'd be happy to give you instruction, and we'll come alongside you and help tell you what to do. So anyhow, thank you.
Just a quick reminder, we are gonna have a stand-up board meeting, so don't leave. Let's see, not gonna have a club meeting next week, so the 21st, we're taking a break. And I'll be out of town over the holidays, so Judy Basker will run the next 2 meetings after that. Okay, let's invite Father Christmas, also known as Vince Kramer, up here for Happy Bucks.
What do you think? Are you guys ready for another game?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I promised you one around quantum physics, but couldn't really put together anything. You know, those atoms, they're a bunch of liars. They make up everything. Okay, some of you know, some of you are Swifties, I'm sure, and the rest of you may know that Taylor Swift has updated a lot of her early albums. Well, some other groups have done this as well. For instance, Herman Hermits, Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Walker. Ringo Starr, Get By With No Help From Depends. Leo Sayer, You Make Me Feel Like Napping. ABBA, Denture Queen. Helen Reddy, I Am Woman, Hear Me Snore. And finally, let's not forget Willie Nelson, On the Commode Again. So, your challenge for the next time that I'm going to be up here again sometime in the new year is to come up with a song that you want to update. Take it from wherever you want to. But there'll be 3 levels this time of prizes. You're sending these to me again, you're just via email. If you can make me chuckle, that's 1 level. If you cause me to snort, that's another level. If you're willing to get up here and sing a couple of bars of it, that's the top level. And
I got a question to that. What if we're not willing to listen? No, what's it?
well, you'll have to talk to the person who is singing. All right, so getting into some Happy Bucks here. I've got a challenge for you out there for Happy Bucks. If for every $5 donation that you say, I will wiggle my bum. Okay, there's our first 5. Got $10 already.
Well,
You guys are gonna wear me out.
so. Okay, keep it going, Rudy, because I got 20. All right, so I just want to tell you that, yes, I served food today for the homeless at Riverside. I encourage others to do the same, but I want to tell you the story of this. A car came down to Riverside Park and stopped for a minute, and Bruce Murray walked over to the car because he kind of, asked for somebody to come over, and Bruce came over and he says, the guy said, I'm not going to tell you who I am. I want to keep it anonymous, but I'm with you with what you're doing. And so he gave him the 20. So I was one of the people that made casseroles, and I got to tell you that please do this. It cost me about $40 to make 2 casseroles, and these are high protein breakfasts for the homeless people, and I can't even tell you how many people we served this morning. We give them breakfast cups of our casseroles and then put either a muffin or a biscuit on the top. And these people are so grateful. So this, which was given to me, I'm giving back to Happy Bucks. But what I would encourage, Tommy just matched it. We're in the business here. So anyway, yeah, you might as well just we'll just keep you shaking. So anyway, I do encourage you, what they need is money. They need money to keep this going, and guess what? This is community. So there we go.
Actually, Lisa keeps, daring me to not wear my Levi's underneath these. And I keep telling her one beer is not enough for that. Jim, there's some of your bourbon.
I have a couple of happy bucks. I rescued some golden retriever puppies. I started with 9 puppies. There was a lot of excrement involved. But I'm down to 2 puppies. I'm likely going to keep 1. So I have 1 beautiful Christmas golden retriever puppy that I'm selling for my son. So if anybody's interested, come see me. They are the cutest thing in the entire world, and I have pictures. A female. And we did a Christmas photo shoot last night, and it almost hurts your eyes to look at them. They're so cute.
Imagine. Anybody else? Jim and then Doug.
I'd like to give 10 happy bucks. Thank you, both of you, all of you for coming to our club and sharing your story and happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to you all.
Thank you.
I would say the same thing. Thank you, and thank you for stepping up and being PG. I mean, it's a lot of work, and we really appreciate that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet it is. Thank you. Thank you, Jody, for doing that Ornament Jam. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. Dad and Leonora. And who else is there? Mary. Who else was there? Greg? We were just, and Lisa. We were just at the high school right before here doing the mock interviews, and that was a lot of fun. I had 7 or 8. Maybe more than that, because we went fast in the first class. There was a lot of kids in the first class, but I had 7 or 8 really fantastic kids staying. So what we did is we did mock interviews where you help a kid learn what an interview is for a job, and you sort of coach them, ask them some questions for interviews. And it's called mock interview for the career academy class. It was fantastic today. And so to all of them, I think a quarter of the people in that room were Rotarians. So I'll be proud of yourself. From that right.
I have 50 bucks for what we did for the backpacks. It was so much fun. It was really lovely, and to think that these kids, how happy they're going to be. And also, I have another 50 for the food bank that some of us were there. Margaret, Dawn, who else? Yes. Debbie and Farron, yes, it was really very, very wonderful. So, you don't have to check me.
We have 5 cards left before we can draw, so get those back down.
Dude, I'm making you shake. I got 10 happy bucks for Jody, the backpack program, and to Lynn and all of us who do that. It is incredible. Jody, it is unbelievable how you organize it and how beautifully run it is. And yesterday when we went to Raptor Creek to load those bags, I thought, Jody ought to be here giving us lessons. She did a very good job. And another 10 happy bucks for our district governor, Jim. He was treasurer during COVID when I was the confused president. And anytime I had some question about money and the budget, Jim answered me immediately and with great expertise, and he did it in English, not Chinese. I was just going to say thank you all for such a fabulous backpack program. Starting off, of course, with Doug and Kirk also coming to help and transport all of the supplies that we had. That was a huge thing. I couldn't believe how many people we had there at the 4:30 shift, that we had everything unpacked, staged, the garbage was moved, and you guys were done at 5. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry guys, but now you have to stand around for half an hour because we got a 5:30 shift that's gonna be mad if we don't wait. So kudos, it takes all of us to get it done, and it's like you said, 240 kids are going to have a nice holiday with wonderful stuff that we were able to provide. So thank you very much.
I got another one.
Once more.
Once more, I just want to keep talking. So, I think it's, so Jim, I want to say thank you, because I never knew kind of what a linguist was. You know, and then my military drill sergeant convinced me not to say yes to the linguistic school, and I'm so glad he did, because I would have hated sitting in an airplane or sitting in a little room somewhere translating something. I'm so glad he told me not to do that.
Anybody else?
So James and I decided, you know, we each give $5 to not see you, ho, ho, ho. But I love seeing you in the show, but really, it's good. And I also forgot to bring you a check for the ornament, at the last Thursday meeting. I thought that was such a great, experience, and so I talked my family into making 4 more ornaments yesterday. So anyway, thank you for whoever organized it, that is fun.
Anybody else? You have anything on the box then? Okay, get on those songs, right? By probably middle of January, I think I'll probably do. Start getting it on to them. All right, let's draw a card. Bruce, why don't you pull it out of this for us? 3 of clubs. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. All right, another great meeting, and like I said, our last one. Last one before Christmas. And I'd like to end with a quotation from Charles Dickens. I try to read this every year with the Christmas Carol, but I don't always make it. Anyway, so a little bit of Charles Dickens. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the co-abstinence principle ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, that any man possessed the knowledge. May that truly be said of us and of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.